Hello world, Krista here with Books and Jams, and it's time for another Friday 5. One of my first Friday 5 videos that I ever made was talking about YouTube binges, or black holes of YouTube that suck you right in. And I'm kind of going to talk again today about some channels on YouTube that I think you might enjoy. Today's topic for Friday 5 is book adaptations that have a series on YouTube. There are tons of them. I have a list of 5 honorable mentions that I've watched and didn't make my top 5, and a list of 5 that I think are fantastic and so well done, and one of them even won an Emmy. The first honorable mention is In Earnest. This is a series that's an adaptation of the book The Importance of Being Earnest by Oscar Wilde. I don't know if it's similar to the actual play because I've only seen the movie. I've never actually read the play itself, but I did enjoy it. The second honorable mention is New Adventures of Peter and Wendy, and I don't think this is an actual retelling of Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, but it's kind of a continuation of their story in a sense, and there are nods to the actual story. The third honorable mention is Nothing Much to Do, which is an Australian adaptation of Much Ado About Nothing by Shakespeare. The fourth honorable mention is not exactly one book adaptation, but it takes a lot from different classic books, and that's called Classic Alice, which is again set in college or grad school. The first few episodes are Crime and Punishment, and then every few episodes it takes another classic book and you'll see elements from those as well. The fifth honorable mention is The March Family Letters, which is an adaptation of Little Women. And I believe this was originally done by one group, but they, I don't know, ran out of funding or stopped, but then I think Pemberley Digital picked it up and it's either being redone or it's going to be redone, but I liked the start of what I saw. I haven't watched it in quite a while to know if they actually did finish the whole entire series, so I'll have to look that one up again. But now on to the top 5. These are series that I've watched all the way through. Some of them I've watched more than once, and I really, really enjoy them. I will go from 5 to 1, building up to my most favorite one, and probably the most popular. For number 5, we have Eleanor and Marianne Take Barton, which is a retelling of Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This is set in college. Eleanor seems to be the more sensible, head on her shoulders, practical sister, and Marianne is a little more flighty, a little more party girl, a little less studious. So we see their sisterly interaction and their love for each other, along with all of their escapades in college. It's a fun way to retell the story of Sense and Sensibility. Number 4 is the autobiography of Jane Eyre, which is obviously a retelling of Jane Eyre. And I started rewatching this a couple weeks ago as I just finished reading Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I feel like this is probably the one that's the closest adaptation of the actual original work. There are a few changes and the ending is a little bit disappointing, but there's a reason behind that and I don't want to spoil it for those of you who may enjoy watching it. So the ending was a little bit of a letdown, but the rest of the series was really good, and I'm about halfway through and I need to continue watching it now that I finished the book. Number 3 is Green Gables Fables, which obviously is a retelling of Anne of Green Gables, and this is just done so well. I really grew to love Anne, just maybe not as much as I love Anne in the books, but I feel like they did a great job in casting the characters of this. When I first watched it was way before I started rereading the series, and I had forgotten a lot of aspects of things that happen in the book that maybe aren't in the movie adaptation, but they are in this YouTube channel adaptation. So Green Gables Fables is a great one to watch. I hope you check it out. Number 2 is Emma Approved, which is an adaptation of Emma from Jane Austen, and this is probably, of the ones I've said so far, one of the ones that has the best acting in it. It is so enjoyable to watch. It's set in a business office. Most of the videos are done in an office. I believe Emma is like a party planner or event organizer planner. Harriet, who's another main character in the book, is her assistant. Mr. Knightley is her boss or partner in the business. It's just super enjoyable to watch, and I really think that you should check it out. Number 1 is probably the most popular, and that's in part because it's won an Emmy. You've probably heard of the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, which is an adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. This one is so much fun. One of my favorite things in this series is when they do dramatizations of events that happen off camera. So they'll throw on quick little costumes and act out different scenes that are so familiar from the book. But I really enjoyed this one so much. That tension that builds between Darcy and Elizabeth. Mr. Wickham is in there and the sisters. There are some changes. Kitty, I believe, is a cousin in this adaptation instead of another sister. There are some major changes, but it is just a fabulously done adaptation. So I definitely think you should check it out. While I was looking through to see which ones I have already seen, I also found out that there is one for North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is going to be my Goodreads read-along group pick for the month of June. And that's called East and West. So you can be sure that I'll be watching that in the month of June while I'm reading North and South, because I think it's really great to kind of see another angle of it. Also, I learned that there's one for Mulan, there's one for Frankenstein, there's one for The Great Gatsby. Oh my word, there's so many. If you know of any other classic book adaptations that have YouTube series, I would love to hear about it. Or if you've seen any of these, or if any of them are ones that you didn't know existed, comment down below, let's chat about it. And also, 2 weeks from today is the deadline to get your form in if you want to participate in the book swap part of the BookSwapAthon, which is a new readathon that I'm hosting with Derby Lane in June. And June 3rd is the deadline to get the form in if you're wanting to be partnered up or matched up with somebody else to receive some fun book mail. So go ahead, I'll link that down in the description box below. But I'll chat with you down in the comments, and I look forward to talking with you very soon. Bye!